Students, they may ask you state and explain Kirchhoff current law. This they will ask you for 2 mark. What is the current law? Now, this is the junction and current entering the junction. I take positive, it is entering the junction. Here also I take positive I2, it is entering the junction, positive, this is also positive. Current leaving the junction, negative, this is I3, entering the junction, I4 positive, current leaving the junction, I5 negative. Now I will write the current I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 in the junction. Current entering the junction, positive. Current leaving the junction is negative. Therefore, what I write? I1 entering, I2 entering the junction, now leaving the junction, I3 entering the junction, I4 leaving the junction, I5. This plus minus, no? Therefore, this is called algebraic. This is called algebraic sum. Therefore, the algebraic sum of the current entering the junction is called is equal to 0. That means algebraic sum. Algebraic sum is denoted by this. Algebraic sum of the current entering the junction equal to 0. This is called Kirchhoff current law. Then what do you observe from this here? I retain I1 plus I2 plus I4 in one side. I am retaining this. I am sending this other side. That is what? I3 plus I5. That means sum of the current entering the junction, I1, I2 and I4. Sum of the current entering the junction. Entering the junction equal to sum of the current leaving the junction. Leaving the junction. Right? Therefore, this is a state and explain. Statement you have to write like this. Statement. What is the statement? The algebraic sum of the current at the node or junction equal to 0. Or sum of the current entering the junction equal to sum of the current. If you write this is 1 mark. For explanation, you have to write, you have to explain this. Consider the junction. Only one sentence. Consider a junction or current junction, you write it. Current junction. Such that current entering the junction is equal to positive. Current leaving the junction is equal to negative, like this. If you write it, then you write as it is. Don't write any sentence. All that. You write, this is called explanation. For this, they will ask you 2 marks. They may ask you state and explain. That means 1 plus 2, 3 marks they will ask. Sometimes they may ask you, there are 2 laws. Kirchhoff current law is there, then Kirchhoff voltage law is also there. But they may ask only the statement. 2 statement, 2 marks. Or state and explain Kirchhoff current law and voltage law for 4 marks also there. 4 or 5 marks. Depends upon the marks you have to write it. This explanation is this. Right? Together. Therefore, just you take the screenshot. Right? Or now you can write it on your own. Then put some few sentences. Here, consider the junction. Electrical junction consists of several conductors meeting at a point. You add your own word. Let I1 is the current entering the junction taken as positive, and current entering the junction taken as a positive, current leaving the junction is negative. Like that, if you take it, if you draw that, then what? How is this? This is algebra. What is algebra? Plus and minus called algebra. Therefore, algebraic sum. This is called algebraic sum of the current. Algebraic sum of the current at the junction equal to 0. Or you send that side sum of the current entering the junction equal to some other current leaving the junction. See, just spending out 5 minutes, you'll be getting 3 marks. Please do several times. Write it and practice.